This is part 2 of our Faron Woods series, and in this part we're actually going to be entering the main part of the woods. We kind of spent all of part 1 just hanging out in the sealed grounds.
Yeah, in the sealed temple.
Yeah, but now we're actually going to be entering the forest itself, and I will say, you've visited this many times, it is a beautiful,
it's
beautiful
absolutely
area.
gorgeous. Like, the art style helps out. It's kind of like a painting.
Yeah.
Almost, but yeah, I just absolutely love this area. It's kind of like, other games like Twilight Princess, like you start off in like the, I guess your hometown, and then you finally make it out to Hyrule. It's kind of like the first time it feels like we really made it out to somewhere, Like,
I agree.
We got to the surface, but we were still kind of contained.
Yeah.
But now it feels like we're in this big open area where we can finally explore.
And I will say, you kind of hit on the art style a second ago. I know it's something we've talked about in a lot of our videos. I do like how Zelda games have always been willing to change up their art style, just try something new. Obviously, you had like the cell shading from Wind Waker. Twilight Princess was dark.
And you get a huge difference between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask in the art style.
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly.
I was kind of being smart aleck, but you didn't pick up on it.
No, I was thinking tone, like darker and lighter.
But that's a good point, though,
definitely.
too.
But
I'm trying to be a smart aleck, and you can pick up on it, man.
I'm just so used to your sarcasm, it just rolls right off.
You just take it like regular talking.
Pretty much. But anyway, we're actually meeting this Goron. His name is Gorka?
Gorka. Oh, gosh. Gorko. But it's very interesting because, we've always known Gorons to be like mountain dwellers.
Yeah.
But we see him here in the forest. And I think he's in the forest throughout the entire game, I'm pretty sure.
We see him in a few different places.
But I always want to say... No, we see him in the desert, actually.
We do see him in the desert.
Oh, man, that kind of my whole point I was going to make.
And I think we see him outside of the fire sanctuary later in the game.
I think you're right.
But that's we will continue seeing him throughout the whole game.
Well, I was going to say, but you usually only see them on a mountain, so it's just kind of interesting to see a Goron here. I thought he only stayed in the forest, but you are right. He does go everywhere else, but... I kind of like a whole point about maybe they start off in the forest and it's just all ruined now. So.
Well, I mean, it is kind of weird though because as far as I can recall, he's the only Goron
in this game.
Because when we're getting the mountain and stuff, we meet the
Magmas.
We're used to seeing Gorons in those areas,
which are very close to the Goron race.
That's true. Maybe they. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're cousins or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they got to be related somehow. Although the Gorons can't dig very well.
No, they can't even jump off little ledges.
They can't do anything.
Without their rock sword.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about Majora's Mask. He can't make that jump and he gets that rock sword and somehow he's able to do stuff.
No.
He can't make the 6-foot jump off the cliff. So, as we try to get filler here for this long cutscene with this Goron, he just talks and talks. Now, we mentioned in part 1, kind of like, how about the story and like how we like the story.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, we get to that girl in the Sealed Temple and like, how she gives a lot of the backstory.
Yep.
But, like, while I do like the story, lines in this game.
Definitely.
This one right here, it gets a little bit too long, in my opinion.
He does. There's a few of those spots here earlier on in the game where they're like, he's going to kind of serve the purpose of explaining like what these statues were at to help you save your game, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
And also let you fly back to the
those statues, though, like it allows you to fly down to a certain part, so it's important to get each of those statues that you find, because you can just enter the... wherever area you're in different areas.
And in a few parts, he also explains to us about like the goddess cubes and
which
stuff
we
like
get
that.
To, not in this part, but I think a later part. Maybe in
part 4, maybe.
Part 4 or 5? Somewhere on there.
So he kind of fills a purpose, and they say that he's like a scholar or historian or whatever, and that's how he knows all these things. So I think they do a good job of like making it why he knows all these things. He's a researcher. He looks into it. But it's still, you're right, it's a lot of filler.
I think it's just so cool. Like, he's talking about, I don't know if he used the word ancient right here, but, he's talking about, like, all these, like, myths and legends and stuff that he's heard. And, like, this is the first game in the Zelda series, or on the timeline. I mean, it's not the first game, but, like, and I think I mentioned this, like, maybe, like, or I will mention this going through the game, but, like, just... It's so... I just totally blanked, dude. I just absolutely totally blanked.
I was wondering where you were going, but... You're right. It's like even though this is the first game in the series, and this is the first time Link's been down the surface, there's stuff that happened millennia ago.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I just totally blanked right there. But like, because it's like how much like earlier was this like whole land, these whole goddesses, like how far back does the Zelda story actually go? And that's why I always find myself thinking about playing this game.
Yeah, because remember if you think back to the beginning of Ocarina of Time, and they say that the 3 goddesses came and created the world, and you're like, but then this had to have happened way after that still, though.
I just kept on babbling on, dude. I just forgot what I was going to say.
I could tell you were trying to get your thought. You were trying to find
Dude, I had it right there, and it just left me.
Yeah, but I mean, like, as we explore this game, though, you're absolutely right, though. Like, more and more things come up. You think about, like, the time crystals, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. We'll be seeing later on in the, one of the desert dungeons.
Later. It, like, shows you that there was so much happening in this world just long time ago, like ancient past. It'd be interesting to see a game that even goes further back in time, to be honest.
Now, I love the use of these beacons in this game.
Oh,
get things here in the sky, and it was so much easier to get to places because, you know, like, I don't like always bring up a map and looking at a map and like trying to be like, okay, now I gotta kind of go here, I gotta kind of go there. Like, that beacon just made it, okay, I don't have to look at my map and I know where I gotta go, and I just really like that concept and how, okay, kind of off topic, not off topic because it's right here, but that big tree right there, just that, like, that whole image right there.
Yeah.
And then also, how is that related to the Deku tree?
It makes you wonder, though, because, like, the Deku tree is just this giant living tree in the middle of the woods, and even Fee at one point mentions this gigantic tree in the middle of this area. Obviously, it's not alive and talking to us like the Deku tree, but it makes you wonder, like, they took the Deku tree concept, applied it back here.
But this tree is so much bigger than the Deku tree that we got in Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know if we got any of the... I think, it's in one of the handheld games, I think, maybe.
Oh, he's in not Minish Cap, one of the Oracle games.
Yeah, he's in one of the Oracle games, but I mean, this tree is just, like, this one is gigantic, and, like, we'll be going in it later on.
Yes,
like,
we will.
Way later in the game, so I mean, just...
When we return to this area.
But I mean, I just love this area. Like I said, it's not my favorite area, but...
it is beautiful, though.
It's gorgeous.
And I feel like you get a beauty that you just didn't get in Skyloft. Like, in your Skyloft, it's just the sky and the one little island at the beginning.
Well, the problem with Skyloft, there's just not enough to do in Skyloft.
No.
You know, like, that's one main complaint about Skyward Sword, is just there wasn't enough exploring and enough stuff to do in the sky.
Yeah, especially considering that's, like, the overworld, and we were talking about this a little while ago, just between ourselves, like, how divided up this world feels, because you have to, like, you can't go from section to section.
Yeah, and I hate that.
You have to return to the sky and jump to a new section.
Yeah.
It's not open world.
Yeah, how much better would this game have been if you could have gone to all the surface areas? Like, I think that really could. I mean, I understand why they made you go back up to the sky.
And I do too.
And drop back down, but oh my god, I think this could make the game so much better if there was, like you said, open exploration.
I feel like it's too broken up. Like, you know, it's got like these however many distinct parts there are, and it's like, and they just don't seem related to each other at all. Like what you do in this area.
Yeah, well, Like they relate to all the Zelda games, obviously.
Yeah.
But like you said, like they really, like they're too distinct. Like you know, like in other games, like you can put a desert right beside like water, and it seemed like it still kind of it works somehow. You know, that doesn't really make sense in real life, but like it worked in this area. I do agree with you. It just it did really feel distinct.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to what you said, the complaint about not having a lot to do in the sky, because like the sky is the quote unquote overworld.
Yeah. By the way, that sucker's not that fast, dude. Did you see how fast he walked up? I mean, dude, we turned around and that Kikwi was already on top of that hill. There's no way that dude is that fast. And wait till you see their legs later on.
Oh, I know.
Like, how these dudes even hold themselves up is beyond me.
And these Kikwis are actually going to play a pretty important part here in the next couple sections of this video series. Apparently, they encountered Zelda as well.
Yeah,
obviously, so they have her aura.
Yeah, aura. So that's how Fig has it now, too.
Yeah, so we're going to use our dowsing ability to find these Kikwis here in the next couple parts, which is kind of long and kind of tedious, and we apologize.
I mean, like, I do love this area, but this first part, there's a little bit too much hand-holding, which you always get with every Zelda game. Yeah. There's a lot of tedious tasks, but at least it's beautiful.
It is.
In my opinion, at least it's beautiful, but, you know, it depends on what you find beauty in. Some people find beauty in more dark stuff, you know, like
the Twilight Princess. I will say, though, man...
darker tones, I guess you could say.
Darker art style type thing. Not to get to like too spoilerific, when we come back to this level later, it's even more beautiful.
Yes, definitely.
We won't spoil that too bad, though. But yeah, this guy, you're right though, like you mentioned how quick this guy was running up that hill. This guy just keeps running away from us though. He thinks we're one of the...
he thinks we're one of the monsters.
Yeah, what are they called?
Monsters, Bokoblins.
Bokoblins,
monsters have inhabited this area, which, they haven't in every Zelda game.
Yeah.
But yeah, he thinks we're a monster, but like, if they would have ran into Zelda, which, well, actually, they did run into Zelda, did they think Zelda was a monster or not?
Maybe.
Because they don't know humans. Like, they've never seen humans down here. Humans haven't been on the surface for...
however many
years, you know, like when the... Well, I don't know. I'm not going to go into that stuff.
It is funny though when we first talked to him and he's like, "It's green. I didn't even know the monsters came in green."
Yeah,
it's actually kind of funny.
Well, these guys remind me of the people in Wind Waker.
Like Maker and
Maker.
What were they called?
I don't know what his name is, but I think we just always think of Bourbon when we talk about him.
Yeah. Wonder why?
No, his name was Maker or something similar.
What were those people called?
The one that plays the violin. Oh, I don't know. I cannot think.
The Leaf people. Yeah.
Yeah, the Leaf. Yeah, that's what we call them. But yeah, they were a certain race. I don't think they. I'm pretty sure they're not Kikwis though.
No, I don't think they were either. These guys always remind me of like Deku Scrubs because they've got the Deku,
definitely
plant on their back. Mm-hmm. And when one of them first popped up, I'm like, we're about to get shot by this guy.
Well, that's another thing with like Skyward Sword being the first game like in the whole series. Like you know, we never like really seen these. Like we've seen like maybe relatives in Wind Waker, but like where did some of these races go to? Like did they not to sound like morbid, but did they die off, become extinct? It's like so awesome seeing the first game in a species that you've never seen before.
You're like,
when you know you've seen stuff that comes later in like I don't know what you would call it, timeline.
Yeah, in the timeline. Yeah, but like you said, we mentioned the Magmas earlier, and it's like we don't see them anymore.
No,
we've never seen them before.
That's true. That's a good point. The Kikwis and the Magmas are both like that.
Hopefully, it's not a case where they all died off. That'd be kind of sad.
Way into part strong here. Hopefully, they don't all die.
I know. And on that pleasant note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up part 2 of Faron Woods.